Now, if I sent that to you, the thoughtfulness, you're going to respond to me. Because again, remember, my micro conversion from LinkedIn campaign is to a talking reply. I'm just trying to get you to respond. So I'm trying to be thoughtful and trying to provide value. So that might be just spreading positivity in a comment. If I start doing it once or twice more, at that point, I could also check to see if you looked at my profile. So then I know that I got an awareness. And then sneak peek on the software that we've developed is, I have an external database that I'm saving prospects to. So it's not automation. It's just that I would save you to the database. Obviously, you're already in my database. So, I could take notes or at least just kind of add you to a list. So that would be kind of my next, for me, what I would do is I would just add you to a list by saying maybe prospecting, having a new list. And then I would just add people to a list. So therefore, at least you become a little bit more top of mind for me. And then, just have you be a little bit more top of mind for me to check in over the next week or so. Because I'm usually trying to find people who are somewhat active on LinkedIn. So you fit that category.
Let's say I was a prospect. All right.
Yeah.
And what would you DM me and say? So I accepted your connection invite. What would you DM me and say on LinkedIn? I'm on my LinkedIn right now on my phone. I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay, so give me the.
I'm gonna respond. Yeah, that's me. If you message me about something, no. What would be your process? Look at what I do. Start a conversation and
give me your context, and I'll role play.
Take it from my profile. Take it from my profile. I help professionals globally connect, helping self-employed professionals.
Yeah.
Connect and make money from LinkedIn, build community, create content, etc.
Okay. So what I would do, so let me ask you this. Have I already connected with you, or are we playing it from the perspective of this is a new profile that I stumbled upon and that I want to connect with you? What's the framing?
Okay. So I would say, heck, I'm a new profile.
All right. So what I would do is I would immediately start going to your posts and I would start liking a couple of them, or even find one that I can comment on. So let's go to the last one that you posted. So you're already saying I'd like to speak. This was a week ago. You had no comments. I would literally say,
all right.
So what's happening now is if I saw that it was A or B, I'm not connecting with you, right? Because I'm generating awareness. Connecting with you is driving it towards consideration and conversion. You don't know who I am. So I could sit and start thinking, there's different options. I could cleverly start saying, hey, O'Shane, I came across your profile. It looks like you're up to some really interesting things in the sales space. I thought we might be able to mutually benefit from one another. Let's connect. I'm sure that would work. I'm not saying the conversion rate on that wouldn't work, especially considering I can tell based off your profile that you're a networker. So I could just lead to the consideration aspect of it by building it up from a perspective of what's in it for you, right? I'm leading with, I think we could mutually benefit one another. So therefore, let's go to it. I sometimes do that. I'm not saying that that's a bad strategy, right? And then when you connect, now I can open the conversation to introduce myself and then ask you a diagnostic question. I might even at that point say, thanks for connecting. I see that you're, in the last week you said that when's your speaking gig, right? Do you even say that? Like, excited to speak at Ready, Set, Sell, tools and strategies I never spoke of. You'll get behind the scenes, register here. There's no register. So maybe I would point that out to you.
Oh, that makes sense.
That would be something that I would probably say. It'd be like, if you connected and I looked at it, if I was reading this, I would say, hey, O'Shane, thanks for connecting. I think you have your profile caught my eye. I was looking at your post. Do you speak often? I saw your register link wasn't in your last post. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. My point is I'm trying to cut through to make sure that you're not a bot. Now, if I sent that to you, the thoughtfulness, which is true because I literally am seeing it in real time and then sharing it, you're going to respond to me. Because again, remember, my micro conversion from LinkedIn campaign is to a talking reply. I'm just trying to get you to respond. So try to be thoughtful and trying to provide value. So that might be just spreading positivity in a comment. Right now, I'm at least got to the awareness stage. You know who I am. If I start doing it once or twice more, I think at that point you would start maybe clicking through to my profile. At that point, I could also check to see if you looked at my profile. So then I know that I got an awareness of, and then sneak peek on the software that we've developed is, I have an external database that I'm saving prospects to. So it's not automation. It's just that I would save you to the database. Obviously, you're already in my database. So, I could take notes or at least just kind of add you to a list. So that would be kind of my next. For me, what I would do is I would just add you to a list by saying maybe prospecting, having a new list. And then I would just add people to a list. So therefore, at least you become a little bit more top of mind for me. I could just filter by the list and then, just have you be a little bit more top of mind for me to check in over the next week or so. Because I'm usually trying to find people who are somewhat active on LinkedIn. So you fit that category. In a week or so, you would probably post again. So I would find you, I would comment. Then maybe next week you post again. I would comment. After 2 comments, I would probably send you a connection request with something like that. See, you're posting a lot about sales. I thought you might be a good person for us to kind of connect with. Like, looking forward to seeing if we can connect sometime. Something like that. You'd probably accept. And then I would open a dialogue with you, maybe commenting about your post, going back to kind of what I said before. Enjoyed your post on sales. Curious about how your your register link wasn't on the latest post, so I don't know when it was. I'm curious to know how that went. I feel like I'm gonna hook you by this because I'm asking about you. It's literally like easy for you to answer that. If you don't answer me, well, it gives me real-time data. I'm not saying that you're a bad person, but maybe you're not a buyer in this moment. You don't really know, right? Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe like you got a lot of things going on. Like, I'm not going to judge, but the conversation's there that even if it takes a couple weeks, you'll probably get back to me. So yeah, then I would do that. And then eventually you would probably say something. Knowing your personality, you would probably, you'd give me real-time data that shows me you have personality. Oh, it went well. But here's where I could have been better, something like that. I'm like, oh, I like this guy. I would maybe then send you an article that talked about how not to be too hard on yourself, right? So now we're building rapport. At that point, I would start marking you in my database as a serious conversation.
Oh, wow.
And then I have a list of a Kanban board so I can kind of organize all my serious conversations. So, that's kind of how I think about it, right? And so the art of progression, you're a serious conversation, but at a certain point in time when it makes sense for me, potentially for you, depending on what you're posting about, depending on what's going on in my business, I would try to merge to see if we could get on a quick call. And then a lot of that is, let's say, the precursor to a sales process. I'm diagnosing when we get on a call if it makes sense to pitch you. And then I'm assuming you're probably going to ask me the somewhat similar things. And then if we feel like we had a good conversation, it's a lot easier to be like, look, O'Shane, I would love to share with you more about what I do and how I do it.